Hi guys, Jenny with On Fire Fit. Welcome to day 3 of week 2 where we battle the giant. And I want to start off with a quote. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Wow, is that not the truth? I have heard so many successful people say that failure is something they use to catapult themselves forward into a better future. But if they live in doubt, they don't move at all. And I think it's so important for us when we are trying to defeat whatever that giant is in front of us, that we realize that doubts are going to come. You're going to have doubters that come at you. And even if you don't have doubters coming at you, I bet that you come at yourself with doubt, because I know I do. And it's interesting for me with my writing that being my current giant that I've been battling, I don't have people around me that are doubting me. Yet I doubt myself. And that has slowed me down from facing that giant and moving forward. Same thing in our story with David and Goliath. David had been with his brothers who told him, "Who do you think you are? Why do you think you're even over here with us in this battle? Who do you think you are? You're like a little kid. You're probably just over here to spy on us. Just, get out of here." And what did David do? He turned away. He went to some other people and started talking to them about what was going on the battlefield. He turned away from the doubters. So when we see our lives, people doubting us doubting ourselves, can we just flip our head around and just say, you know what, I'm not listening. Who cares? I'm not listening to you, because I already know that God has put this seed for a harvest in me. And so turning your back on it is one of the best things you can do. David did that. He also reminded himself and said out loud how God had rescued him in the past. When David was a shepherd, he got all the experience he needed in fighting and to be able to fight this giant that was coming against him. The Lord had rescued him from all different kinds of animals that he had to fight off in order to protect the sheep. Because of that, because of his past history, he had a testimony that carried him into this current situation. I think it's really important that when we have doubts, that we remind ourselves of how God has rescued us in the past, what he has done in the past to fulfill his promise to us. And I want you to question yourself. If you are the type who says, God has never really rescued me, I want you to stop and think about this for a minute. Every single situation in our past, we can look at from the standpoint of the negative or the positive. And I'll use an example from my life. When my intestine ruptured, I had had already many years of intestinal problems, and I had actually gotten into the medical field because doctors seemed to kind of poo-poo me, not really. Well, that was funny. Didn't mean to say that, Freudian slip. They poo-pooed me, but I had a lot of trouble with my intestines, and nobody discovered after many years that my intestine was actually flipped around every time I tried to digest. What eventually turned into my intestine rupturing, a colostomy bag, and several surgeries. Now, some people would say, well, God didn't protect me from this. Why didn't he help this situation to be resolved sooner? Why did this have to happen this way? It's interesting though, because when I look at this whole process, not only did it get me into the medical field, which I believe was God ordained, and it has taught me so much about coaching people now in the future and in On Fire Fit, it also has created an incredible amount of trust in him. I can't say that I wouldn't want it all to happen again. Yeah, I don't I don't want to go through the pain, and I really wouldn't want to go through that experience. But coming out on the other side and seeing how God has built a trust for him through this experience is priceless to me, to the point that if I had to go through it again in order to have what I have now, I would do it. It actually brings me to tears, because I don't know if you can look at your situation that way, but you need to, because God has rescued you. He uses everything to bring you closer to him, and he does not cause those things to happen. But if you allow him to work good through those circumstances, then you will be able to fight off the doubts, recognize how he has rescued you, and that will launch you into the future and help you fight your giant. So I encourage you to go through the stuff that I've written here so that you can kind of identify what's going on with your potential doubters in your life, including yourself. And then let's join up again tomorrow for day 4. Thanks so much for being with me, and go live on fire.